What's up, guys? We're going to continue right from where I left off in the last video with my first gaming hour, so in the Outer Worlds. Got a decent response to the last video, so we'll see where this series goes. Still haven't decided yet whether I'm going to do a full walkthrough or just concentrate on tips and tricks. I guess the response to this video and how many views it gets will decide, so without further ado, let's go exploring. Two quick caveats though. I'm a tiny bit sick. Not really, but I have a little bit of a stuffed nose, so if you hear that in my voice, that's why. Could just be the changing of the seasons. Hopefully it won't turn into anything more serious. And also, I'm still getting used to the PS4 controls, so, you know, if I'm not like as on point as I am with like Fallout 4 combat, for example, then that would kind of explain why, you know. One of the things that messes me up every time is the X button, because there's also an X button on an Xbox. So I don't know why they didn't just do like A, B, C, and D, you know, that would have differentiated them enough from an Xbox, but they had to use these symbols and I have to memorize the symbols. Anyway, it's just going to take some practice and I'll get used to it. Okay, so let's get started. By the way, I was thinking about this after the last video. Wouldn't this dude have seen this thing like coming out of the sky? You know, it wouldn't have like dropped at light speed. He could have gotten out of the way, but I understand we have to make room for us to take over his position here. So let me just see about this. Jump. Okay, there. Oh, it says it right there. Jump. And then that's crouch. I don't know what the square button does yet. Okay, so we don't really have much to work with yet. Let's see where we're going with this. Oops. Oh, that's a harmless creature. Sprint, got it. Oops. So that's what the square button's for. It's to take things. Normally the bottom button on most other games, but I'll get used to that as well. Oh, and there's some creatures we can sneak past. Ooh. Okay, I think we made it. Into the caves we go. Whoa.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Okay, that must be the introduction to the time dilation effect. Things are kind of cute. I want one as a pet. Can I fall that far? I guess we'll see. Ooh. Okay, L1. Okay, I gotcha. Oh, there's a dude. We don't have a gun yet, so let's go say hello.
Hey, you. Come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings.
Oh, and I'm a medic, too.
Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some Adrena time. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Investigating an illegally grounded ship. All spacecraft must arrive and depart from authorized landing pads. That's board law, that is. Some hull had grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
Okay, interesting. They have a slightly different language than you normally expect. You know, they're using phrases that we're not used to. And I'm assuming marauders is the equivalent of bandits, so that's their name for that. And here, let's see. We'll go with that one.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time.
Hilarious.
You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous saltuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Okay, so we're starting to get a clue into some of the factions and stuff. Oh, and I have a gun now. All right.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
Okay. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. So they're justifying it as having an extended hibernation, and it affects your brain. That's an interesting take on it, let's say. Okay, cool. Well, I'm psyched to use it. Oh, and there was one right there. Look at that. Sweet. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, look, there's some bananas. Whoa. Bunch of nanners. That's wild. Alright, I'm probably just going to babble a little bit as I get used to some of the things that are in this game. Tar, mac, and cheese. Alright, then. Oh, cool. We can loot. Let's hold it and take all. At some point, I'm probably going to open my inventory and take a look at what we have, but we're not doing too bad on health now, so let's do another one of those things. Gotta reload. That is awesome. I'm gonna love this when it comes to sniping. Is there more? A new weapon. Okay, let me just take a quick look at... Not that one. That one. I gotta get... It's just really big button at the top of the PS4 controller. Light pistol. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay. Well, actually, let's equip the sword just so I can switch on occasion.
Heard something.
Oh, we found him.
Tear them apart!
A little bit of recoil. Hope you get rid of that soon. Okay, so that's what I kind of figured. The melee combat wasn't going to be up to snuff, so I'm glad I went the sniper route. You know, until they come up with a combat system in these role-playing games that's similar to something like Assassin's Creed, I'm just I'm not going to be much of a melee combatant. Okay, so, ooh, he's regenerating a little bit. That's interesting. Okay, now I wanted to go... Okay, that's armor. Let's see. Helmet? Sure, why not? Yeah, this is what I was looking for. Let's eat one of these things. Regeneration 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, so it just kind of speeds up the regeneration a little bit. Ah, they're not marauders. Okay.
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed!
Yes, ma'am. Oh, once again.
Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some. Seriously? But those marauders will... Ugh. You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
Okay. Hilarious.
Enemies! Fucking target!
I just earned a fine bonus.
Waste of company ammo.
Okay, they took care of him for me. Cool. Where are the bodies, though? I want to loot them. There they are. Okay, this must be the ship. Wow, that was really fast loading time. I didn't have to cut that out.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder.
Oh, and then right here, there's... Hold. pick 1 second. Well, there's some valuable plunder.
Marauder, please be informed that ignoring me is dangerous for your health. Intruders are not authorized to access the Unreliable's amenities, including the cargo hold's workbench.
Okay, we'll go upstairs in just a second. First, I want to take a peek around here.
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
Ada. Well, let's hope that she doesn't glitch out on me like the Ada in Fallout 4.
I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for lethal deterrence. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Uh-oh.
You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced.
You would have thought they could have animated her face at least. Oh well.
Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Sweet. All right, well, let's level up real quick. Okay, you guys can pause that if you want to read a little further, but I have 10 points. Okay. Interesting. Okay, cool. So I unlocked one of those perks now. Very cool. So what I'm doing is I'm just looking through to see what I can get to the next perk unlock. Awesome. So I got these all now to 20. Okay, That's good enough for now. Let's see here. Let's head on. See what else is on this ship real quick, and then we'll...
Due to catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown.
Probably because there's nothing back there.
These are the crew's quarters. Alex preferred to travel alone, but he always had me.
Salt tuna. So I'm guessing that's some kind of hybrid between a salmon and a tuna. And not just like salted tuna. Must be one of the corporate products that they've developed in this universe. What's this?
Want to be a brand new you? Try out our respecification machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died.
Interesting. Okay. So I guess if you want to respec your character, you go there. That's a fun option. Ooh, okay.
If your equipment is in need of repair or modification, the Crux 2000 workbench is at your disposal, Captain.
Okay, I won't mess with that now, but it's interesting to know you can take falling damage, although it's going to regenerate over a few seconds. Man, I love that loading time.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Okay. Well, I don't like lying to them, but it looks like whenever you have an option to use a skill, you're going to get XP, so might as well take advantage of that. Let me just see if there's a map real quick. I just want to... Oh, there is. Okay. Nope. Let's see here. All changes will be... Wait, I don't want to do that. Come on, come on. All changes will be lost. What does that mean? Okay, this is what I was looking for. I don't know what that was. Oh, I know what it is. I had to accept it. All right, jeez. Let me just do this real quick. I'll just skip ahead. Okay, so back to the map here. Interesting. Zoom. Okay, that's where we're headed in the right direction. You can see it right back there. Sweet. I can hit him in critical spots now, too. That is so awesome. wasn't it? Oh, look at that, I blew his leg off. What about this guy? Nothing.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Company policy. If it was up to me, I'd put the whole town 10 feet under, free of charge. Four workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up.
All right, well, let's head in. Okay, very interesting looking place.
Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness. No, thank you. That's quite all right. I've seen enough body parts in my line of work. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment.
So weird.
Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions. As broke as pie crust, friend. Bitless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. Thank you, no. I despise the cereals. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, I'd proven worthy of treatment. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers! No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. Much obliged.
So weird. He's talking about cleanliness, and then there's like blood everywhere. Oh, it's red. Okay, so I guess that's stealing. Probably don't want to steal in front of people here. Yeah. Come back and do that later. Okay, so we have a cantina. Who are these people?
And your rations yet?
They're just residents.
2 whole cans of salt tuna.
It says I have perk points available. Let me just see what's... Perk points, okay. Interesting. Okay, I get what's going on here. Pretty cool. I like that one. Okay, I'll hold off on that one. Interesting. Okay, so the ones that I'm looking at here are Slow the World, Traveler, and Quicken the Dead. I think I might go with this one. And apply. I have to remember to do that each time. Okay, sweet. Ooh, and that gave me quite a bit actually. Awesome. Wait, open? Open. Oh, it's like a store. Okay.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice. And before you ask, I'm all out of deluxe salt tuna. All I've got is gourmet. You ought to go have a talk with the boss, Reed Thompson. He's up in his tower above the cannery.
Okay, so I'll come back and do some trading later. Let's just continue exploring here. So that's probably the tower up there. Just admiring the scenery real quick. Game looks pretty good. It's not bad at all. What is this?
Our place in the universe is fixed.
It's like a church.
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you round here too often.
Oh,
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
All right. I'm seeing a ton of opportunities for some trivia pop-ups yet. I just haven't decided if I want to put in all that extra time. So I'll hold off for now, but this game does have potential. We'll just have to see what the responses, view-wise to these videos.
Mechanical tomfoolery is well out of my purview. I suggest you take such matters to Mr. Thompson in the cannery. Oh, and a word of warning. If you're considering wandering around outside the safety of the town, you'd best be cautious. The marauders I met when I ventured outside the walls might agree with you. Bastards snuck up on me while I was dutifully hunting for a banned book in a collector's library. Barely escaped with my life. But you see, one of the reasons I transferred here was to get my hands on that heretical text. If you managed to acquire it for me, I'd pay quite a handsome sum for the book. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. Glad we see eye to eye. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Okay, so we're just picking up side quests and stuff. I could have gone a lot deeper into that conversation and many of these conversations and pick up lore, but I don't want this video to be too terribly long. You guys can do all that if you're into that.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
If I was playing for myself, I probably would, but got to make these videos at least somewhat efficient. Okay, I'll take a look at all that later. See, these are the kind of things that just give me the BioShock vibe, Otherwise, it is pretty much like a cross between Fallout New Vegas and Firefly or something.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Why does he remind me of a young William Shatner?
I'm Rhett Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. The geothermal plant was built by our owners, Spacer's Choice. Lit up the whole Vale once upon a time. Most of the Vale is now abandoned. All that power is going to waste. We could use the power. Cannery's been struggling. If we don't ramp up productivity, the company might cut us loose. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Cool. Our first companion. All right. Parvati, I think that's her name. Let's go.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we chat? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listened to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. It don't seem right to me, mister. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
We were just there. See if I remember where it is.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got in.
Just between us, Wilson deserted.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Any progress on that matter we discussed? Ah, Miss Holcomb. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
This here's Vicar DeSoto. He's always offering spiritual counsel to those that need it.
Thank you for the kind assessment, Miss Holcomb. I admit, I've been quite interested to make our outsider's acquaintance. Please get it. What would you like to discuss? They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No? How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands. What would you like to discuss?
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? That seems well within your expertise.
The way we do it's by cutting off power to the others. The ones who left.
Adelaide McDevitt's encampment. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are.
Where are we headed? That's on account of how I never met her. It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Could be. Reckon I'll never know.
All right. Let's keep moving. Oh, okay. So that's going to leave. I just want to check out a few more things in here before we go. So I'll probably tackle our missions in the next episode. I saw a cantina that I wanted to go into. Where was that? There we go.
You're not a big drinker, are you?
Only the part that said we ain't making our quotas.
Never seen you here before. You a visitor? Welcome. On behalf of the Spacer's Choice family, let me welcome you to where am I again? Edgewater, jewel of the Vale. May the law bless our beloved cannery with 100 years of, what's it called? Productivity. That's the one. Yep, that's us. Productive. Oh, it's fine. I'm only on my 3rd bottle. I don't start heaving up my guts as long as I can count to 3. Company lets me imbibe as much zero-G brew as I can afford. Even gave me a discount on account of my injury. You jealous yet? Yep. Got my mid stuck in a rotor wheel. Shredded my wrist up real good. Conrad went and sewed up my hand, but I couldn't do much about the pain. Boss was real generous to me, though. Got myself a 5% discount on zero-G brew. After the 2nd bottle, the only pain I feel is emotional. Hey, Conrad's a surgeon. Well, he's a barber. That's like surgery, but for your hair.
Okay.
I don't know you. Uh-huh. The Unreliable, you say? Never heard of any company supply ship with that particular name. I don't know what you're about, but this here's a Spacer's Choice drinking establishment. We're all loyal, hard-working company folk here. You really think so? That's kind of you. I've been trying to keep the floors clean. You got no idea how long it takes to scrub the tiles. Guess I misreckoned you. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to be curt. We just got some problems lately. I can get you a drink if you'd like. Gotta ask you to enjoy your beverage within the premises, though. Can't risk you bringing a drink over to those deserters. You understand. Traitors. The lot of them. Bunch of folks decided they were tired of working and went out into the wilds to fend for their own selves. Town's already struggling to make quotas, even without that band of slackwits abandoning their posts. Bunch of lazy, shiftless rung leeches. Anyway, enough about them. What can I do for you?
Okay. So... probably a few more things that we can explore in here. Went in there already. Alright guys, well I think I'm going to end the episode here just so I can edit it and get it out, you know, within the week. People are saying this is a much shorter game, but I think that depends on how much you like exploring, you know. I tend to do a lot of exploring, so it might be a little longer for me. I also like to do a lot of looting, a lot of tinkering at workbenches, and just getting, you know, the character all perfect and stuff. So you never know. It might not be too short of a game. But let me know what you guys think. Are you getting a good vibe from the game? Would you guys like to see more walkthroughs like this, or would you rather I concentrate on tips and tricks? I'm liking the game so far, but you know, you guys let me know your preferences down in the After School Club below. You can also share your thoughts on Twitter. If you haven't followed me over there yet, the name is easy, @SchooledZone. And of course, subscribe for more videos like this, and a like and a share are always welcome. See you in the next video. Peace out.